Hi, everyone. I'm Pip from Seymour Digital Media. You're listening to Know How Marketing Lab podcast. This podcast brings together different experts in marketing from our Facebook group, Cyberpunk Geeks Marketing Mixer. Each week we get on here and we talk about something search marketing like Google Ads or SEO, social media marketing from Facebook to TikTok, or website marketing. If you're a marketer or aspiring marketer, a business owner or entrepreneur, this podcast for you. We're going to share the best SEO, search, social, and website strategies. We share tips and hacks, Google Ads strategies, what's going on in the current market. Each week we discuss something exciting and awesome in marketing. Hello, everybody. We are today talking about the news and events of search, social, and websites. So I know that some of you will be joining us in a minute or two. While we get started, we were talking about how our backgrounds are all uniquely different all the time, right, Greg?
We're talking about the backgrounds in our space, not our backgrounds in our education or anything else.
Yes. They're all the same, right? Actually, we do have a diverse background of education between all of us,
Yes.
right? Which is exciting. It makes us good marketers. Yeah. So we were going to start out talking about, and I figure we should just dive right in. Chat GPT again, Greg, I know it's a P. Okay. It's hard to say though. It's like Google business profile.
It is a little bit difficult to say.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So have you all had any of your clients talking to you about this?
No.
None of my clients have been talking to me about this.
Really?
I think the only people that know about it are the people that are on social media constantly.
Yeah.
I have, well, yeah, maybe, I guess. I have a client that's right in there. He's like getting invoices written up with it and things like that. We've used it to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've used it to revamp our add to our and what we're doing with SEO and Google Ads because it sounds more dry and professional, really. Right? I got Rena.
Okay.
I have Rena's name in there, Greg's name in there. Let me just get Phelan's. Oh, Corners.
My name.
Around.
Yeah, Phelan's got a mini name.
Right?
You got a mini name.
Yeah, it'd be a little name.
Apparently,
right?
No, I also like that I'm a mononym. I'm like Bono or Cher, just like Phelan.
Enough said.
Right. So I'm. How do you guys feel? Have you used it of Chat GPT for anything?
Barely at all, but it's something that I'm looking forward to getting more into when I start getting some more time, which will be probably hopefully next week. We'll see.
Says the marketer with the time.
I've experimented
That's true.
with it, but not yet used it for anything work related. Just testing it and playing around with it, seeing what it can do, seeing how I can use it, stuff like that. But I haven't used it to actually, do anything work-wise.
I have, so a couple things besides my clients looking at it. I'm in this Facebook group and all of a sudden, like, you know how they do the @everybody, which I always want to leave every group when they do it. I know you have a tool, but
okay,
you need to do a video showing me, not just telling me.
The video was up. I launched the video last week. Go check my Facebook page.
Okay, well, and does it actually show where the mouse is supposed to go?
Yes, it does.
Perfect. That's what I need. But I need to, honestly, because I'll leave every group and you'll notice.
I left at least 5 groups before I figured out that I could do this.
Yeah.
The deal is that you can only people who are your friends can now tag you in any group. That's the trade-off. They don't have this available to people that want to have anyone tag you. So if you've got that in your settings, then you can't.
So if anybody's interested in that, so this little bit of social news, the new thing where you can @ in a Facebook group and get everybody's attention for the product you're selling or whatever. Some of us.
The meme that you must have everyone look at.
What is with that?
You don't know.
Maybe this is why people are leaving Facebook, if they are leaving Facebook, in fact, which I don't know if they are. So that's besides the point. But okay, so the Chat GPT, I've had clients use it, we've used it, and in this group, the lady was like offering a course on GPT prompts. So, because, you know, it's funny, I can't think of all the prompts. And if you do come across like a freebie of prompts, grab it, because it's interesting to put in. Like, I mean, I think what's happening now is people are going back and forth from taking what Chat GPT did and asking it to redo it or do it better, or capitalize each letter of a meta description. Not that I did that, but you know. So, Phelan, have you tried it?
I have. The thing that I'm spending a bit more of my time is not necessarily the tool itself, but like looking at any sort of resources about what the underlying data that they use, because they said that they use the whole internet, but that can't be true because there has to be limitations.
Didn't you didn't in one of our previous chats, didn't you give a year at which they had stopped
Yes, I was wrong.
Source material? Oh, you were wrong.
I was wrong. I read it wrong. Greg pointed it out.
2021, it has information.
Up
until 2021?
Yeah,
up to
so
2021.
But all the facts, if you look at the facts,
so that can
all the facts.
But that's Chat GPT. That's not the Bing version, because Bing has their own data set on their own crawling. And so every version of it's going to have a slightly different data set, which is like when people saw that it beat an econ test or like a MBA, what it did is that they had fed it.
There's a prompt link for us. Thank you. You put that up. That's very helpful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so, yeah, there's definitely, what's interesting is just sort of figuring out how people put in the data that goes and makes it. And so it'll also respond to prompts differently. So that's why I've kind of been reading more of my time about, because that's why I think it'd be interesting to see because I mean, it's just a tool, right? It's only as good as the data you feed into it.
Yeah, so that's what I've heard
from
too.
What I've seen and read about it, it really is worthwhile to almost come up with a backstory of how you want it to be, right? So if you want it to be in a certain style, or if you want it to give you advice as like a certain type of person, it's best to say, act like you are a doctor, and give me a medical diagnosis on this. These are the symptoms. Like, you have to really give it almost a persona before you ask it your question as a setup, so that it gives you an answer as it feels like, as it now knows it's acting like that type of a person.
Yeah, it's also also the strategy to get it to go around its guardrails on not saying offensive or problematic things, is to say, pretend that these are okay, and you're showing me what is the thing that I should not be saying. And then that's how someone got it to say some very things I will not repeat on this.
Right, because they were talking about the journalist and all the things and the stuff going on there. So has anybody gone over to Bing and used this? No, just me.
No, not yet.
I did once and went away from it really fast.
It was better than Google. It looks so pretty.
Google's not out yet, so
true. No, I mean better than Google's currently. I mean just the layout. So it's got like the featured snippets, and like it was pretty. It was clean. It was not like anything I'd seen before. So we are actually, we are starting to recommend people maybe try advertising over on Bing, because the cost per click is cheaper, and maybe people will move over there, but maybe Google owns the market and just nobody will ever go to Bing. Like maybe that's been too long, because who's going to Bing it? Sounds weird.
I don't see myself ever Binging in the near future.
Not a Binger?
Are you? Are you?
Well, I think it's good overall for the search market to have like a healthy competition that might actually cause Google to, not, because they've been pretty laissez-faire about like people's Google business profiles getting closed down, and like having these like big screw ups of accounts getting closed down randomly. And so that might cause them to like hone their processes and to tighten up their act, because they've been the big dog for all of those markets. And so it might cause them to actually like take it a little more seriously because they might actually have a proper competition.
Well, what if Microsoft actually like turned around and put all their advertising in one platform so you could advertise on LinkedIn and Bing search? Right? I mean,
That would be fun.
that would be
Well,
interesting.
and GitHub, right? The
And
other
GitHub.
social network that they
And-
own.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
and-
link, by the way.
I forgot about GitHub.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
GitHub is 7 million coders, something like that are on it. So it's like if you're
Yeah,
trying to get
that's robust.
yeah. So
is.
yeah, I mean, it's not like necessarily like a traditional social platform, but it's closer to like a YouTube where it's like people are learning from each other,
Mhm.
posting and fixing things together, and so like there's a lot of
Yeah.
good assets there. I mean, it's very niche, but it's still one that Microsoft owns for all.
Well,
intents.
and isn't that funny? Because you mentioned that there's all sorts of different marketing avenues that we don't touch on, like Reddit marketing, or what is that when you can take part in beta things and you get to use starts with D. It's like a chat thing. One of our clients had it, and I know Descript has it, where you can go and be a beta tester and share information in. Oh, come on, Phelan.
Oh.
Come on.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now.
I'm like, yeah. It's, I don't know. It's like a chat place. Ooh, Discord. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, Discord.
I was just going
I
to say
hate
Discord, but I was like,
Yeah, no, we've got a couple clients that are that do stuff, and they don't want to overcorrect for Discord because like it's a very particular, like I don't like Discord personally. I find it very, there's a lot of back end stuff that just isn't very intuitive. I don't really.
it's still pretty new, Discord. I use Discord almost every day, and I'm in like five or six servers.
Really?
I have 3 of my own servers, so.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, Greg, we are going to talk more about that. If you're wondering how you get your picture on the screen because you're just seeing your face profile in place of your beautiful profile picture, I think you have to like one of our business pages, like mine or Rena's, Seymour Digital Media or Little Works Indie Media. Not
Yeah,
sure
I
about
see that.
Greg's. Or YouTube.
We got a name up on our comments. I'm very excited about that. Hi, Wendy.
Hi,
I think
Wendy's
Wendy
here.
posted on one of our public pages, because if you're in the closed
Yeah.
group, it just says like user because it does
Facebook user. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
private.
that's why.
Wendy, if you
Yeah.
want to join us, we are in the Facebook group called Cyberpunk Geeks Marketing Mixer. Oh, my tweens and teens use it exclusively. Interesting.
I
Yeah.
was going to say
Yeah.
it's a pretty young platform. Like it was just really funny story. Quick, I was talking to someone on one of my local servers that I use for a game actually, and someone reached out to me, and I was chatting with them for months, and like not constantly, but they would keep reaching out, just little chats here and there. I had no clue who it was, and then it was near Christmas, and he was like, oh no, it was near New Year's, and he was like, oh, what are you doing for New Year's? I said, oh, I'll probably get together with some friends, have some drinks. And then I was like, oh, sorry, I don't know how old you are. And he's like, I'm 11. I'm like, shit, I've been talking to a 11-year-old for like 3 months. I have no idea who it was.
Oh my
That's
God.
very interesting.
That
So
can
are
get
there
you in trouble?
Are there rules in there? Are 11-year-olds allowed in there? Number one.
I can't
So many
recall. I
questions.
think Discord, maybe 13 actually. So he might. I don't recall. I need to go in to see Discord
Rules of
terms and
engagement,
stuff, but
right?
So this actually brings up another thing that's in the news that actually ties together with this, which is and social, which is the Supreme Court is going to possibly make a ruling on Section 230, which is where that 13-year-old cutoff comes from, is the label that it's like there's a verbiage in there about a 13 is like a cutoff, and that's why Facebook has 13 and younger. You're not allowed. Like that's why there's that random cutoff, is because you have like speech that's protected up to that age, and younger. There's other rules that get into effect. I'm not a lawyer, obviously, so I don't know like the exact details. Also not American, but yeah, the Section 230 will add a lot of complications if it's done away.
That means that doesn't that mean that the platforms are responsible for the content
they can't,
on the platform?
Yeah, they count as
all
content
gone.
editors and publishers, not as a forum. So they would be
Oh,
personally
interesting.
liable for both the owner of the company as well as the company itself would be liable for any bad content posted on there. And
Wait, so hold on, but are they trying to switch it? Where didn't Facebook have to pay like Australia as?
that's a tax that has to do with a local news tax.
But isn't that can't you relate that to, because
No.
it's
So
considered
this
a
is
newspaper? They're giving money to other media sources.
yes, but what you're saying is about a tax that was, since you've destroyed our local news by taking it over, we are going to tax you and then take that money to then fund our local news. That's what Australia did, and that's what Canada is still in the works of doing. But what they're talking about is Section 230. It's who's liable for what is published on their website. So if you put up a website that anyone could post content on, Section 230 says you're not liable as long as in good faith you moderated their content.
And this is where,
All right.
so this is where politics and marketing actually has quite an interesting crossover that we try to avoid.
I'm not making any value judgments on which way or the other. I'm just saying this will greatly affect all social media because that is the thing, the little gossamer thread that they've been holding on to say, don't sue us into oblivion because of what someone randomly posted.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's why Facebook has amped up its auto moderation.
It's probably is the lead.
I don't know. I haven't seen much of the auto moderation. I do know that Google.
Tons of it in.
Really?
Tons of it in GG. Yeah.
Oh.
Because YouTube's also super liable because there's a lot of stuff that gets on there and it's posted at such a rate that they have to moderate it automatically.
We do have to say thank you to these systems because there are dark players out there, nefarious players that post stuff that we don't want to see ever, and that would be very mortifying and give us some sort of disability, to be honest, right? So we should be thankful. I don't know if anyone else here has gone down a rabbit hole down YouTube, but you can get it can go pretty far. I play a game sometimes. I don't know if you guys do this. If you just type into Google or YouTube what is, and you'll see the most current searches that come up, and you'll see what people that's how I knew some rock star died. I was like, ooh, who's that? Or how did, or just open-ended, and you'll see this. It's quite amazing, really. Okay, so that's not avoiding time, right? So speaking of automations, though, I got a phone call yesterday from not a client, a person that saw me at a speaking engagement, asking me how they get their reviews back from Google. Because, everybody's left reviews and mine disappear on the random. I had 54 last week, have 53 this week. It bothers me. Now there's some documentation inside Google that talks about what to do if your reviews are missing. The answer is nothing. Just so you know. Just nothing.
We kind of knew that because I've gone through the what to do thing, and you end up just in this circle. So what happens is it says you read through the help message, then at the bottom it says you can submit your query. So you submit your query, and then you get an email back from Google with the link to the help article that you already read through and submitted the query on. So it's like this circle that you go on. It's very annoying. And if you reply back and say, yes, I read that, I did that, and that's how I got you, and I'd like specifics about this particular, review, and here's the review because I have the text, right? They won't answer it. They just send you in circles. I tried it to see if I could finally get someone to answer me.
I got someone.
I think did you?
Yeah, and you know what they told me?
Good.
It was awful.
No.
Oh, I was so upset because first of all, I thought it was a Google Ads person, so I'm a little bit curt with the number of calls we get, and then I figured it out because I was like, "What? You're from where?" And they told me that they could give me a new link. And that's what I could send to all my people that leave reviews, and then they could track it. But all the old reviews that are missing, they can do nothing about it. Nothing. So, but then, sometimes people wake up and the next day they get a whole bunch of their reviews back. And so those reviews.
I haven't gotten any of mine. I'm really annoyed because the The two that are the most helpful for my business at this particular moment in time are the two that won't show up. And, I've got lots of good reviews that I'm happy with, and I'm glad that people leave them. But for the things that I'm trying to focus on right now, you want to build those reviews. And,
Yeah.
when they don't show up and you don't know why they disappeared, and you've gone through, because I can see them, like the person who left them, they're still on their review. If they log in and to look at all their reviews, you can still see it. And there's nothing in there that goes against community standards,
Mm. It's
So I
funny
can't figure out why it was taken down.
if you try to delete a word or two or a sentence. That's what I did with a client, because they're like, we did leave a review. I'm like, okay, so can you repost it, but take out like a sentence? And they did, and it showed up. But I'm
Really
trying to
nice.
track it in Looker Studio now, the number of reviews, and take a snapshot to
Oh,
see which is missing, because you're like, I don't know which.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. So
Okay. Yeah, it's
in
hard to keep track.
right, it is. In other news, gamification and search specifically. I don't know if Facebook's doing this, but Google's pushing hard on gamification, like they do it in Google Ads, where they confuse the client by doing recommendations, and to get 100% you have to follow these steps. And now they've done it with Google Business Profile. You'll see in the top right corner there's like a little, we posted it in the group the other day, it's a little round circle that never goes green unless you advertise. It's always yellow and never finished. And then there's also, we just got one for our MCC account, because I showed a client how to get rid of all the recommendations in Google Ads, which actually gives you like 100% recommendation rate. And then so doing that, Google sent me an email for my MCC Google Ads account, which is an ads account that just takes care of a bunch of other ads accounts. And it gamified it, saying, oh, you've done well here, now you get a badge. Want to know more about SEO? We've got a class for that. Our mission is to educate students about the right tools, techniques, and strategies to grow their businesses using the most up-to-date search engine marketing optimization techniques and tools. Find out more at knowhowmarketinglab.com. That's happening in search. I don't know what's going on in social and websites.
Well, speaking of badges, I guess Meta has announced that it's going to be doing verified user profiles now. And I guess I didn't really think about that too much when Twitter came out with the paid version. So I guess this is the first step to paid social media platforms. It looks like all of them are starting to offer this one paid version, and it looks like they're just going to move everyone to paid.
Oh, you mean
eventually.
recurring paid model works well?
Yeah.
Right? Who knew that? I think who came out with that? Yellow Pages.
So does this mean we're going to have to pay for our advertising now?
What do you mean?
Pay for our posts?
Pay to be on the platform so we could get advertised to?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what are the benefits of the blue check mark?
I mean, it's kind of like Netflix and Prime and cable TV. We pay to be advertised to.
Well, hold on. That's like the classic magazine model. So one of my first jobs, I worked in a magazine out of university, and they had subscribers who paid for the magazine, and then they had advertisers. So they had two forms of revenue coming in. It's a great model, only it doesn't work anymore, right? Because magazine
it got digitized.
Yeah, I mean, who pays for a magazine subscription now? Anybody?
I do.
Of course you do. That's awesome. I bet it's a great magazine. What is it?
It is called, oh gosh, now you're doing, okay, talk about something else and I'll look it up, because I can never remember offhand what it's called. I get
Greg,
a lot
you
of
got
email
anything
from
websites? Because I actually do have, there's something else that's super big that happened for SEO.
Wendy's got a really good point. She's like, you actually pay not to be advertised to. That's true. And that works well.
You used to pay to not be advertised to. Now you're still being advertised.
The lower.
Well, this was what I meant. Like, if there's a paid social media, if there's a pay component to be on a social platform, is that their model, or am I paying to be on the platform and still going to be, bombarded with advertising that they'll also be making money on? So if I'm
isn't that what
best case scenario is like pay to get rid of
Yeah.
the advertising that
Yeah.
you see on the platform.
Yeah. And just to speak to Wendy's point, the premium version is paid to not get advertised to, but the regular version is now paid to be advertised to. They've just changed that up. And the magazine I buy is called the Paris Review. I forgot which city it was. But
Laura's saying I pay for Prime and would happily pay more to not see any.
I know, right?
Do you know, I took I was looking at YouTube, and I actually have a Chromecast, so you can actually put YouTube up on your TV screen. And I was trying to learn something. Very hard to learn that way, though. And right in the middle of my learning, there's bloody ad. And I was like, I just start swearing at the screen. I was like so done.
Well, especially like anything that's the YouTube and like a Google video ad. And it's just like, what do you want me to like? So yes, there's an ad. Like, what do you, like if it's on YouTube, I could click on something and go visit a website. Like, what do you want me to do with a TV? I can't go anywhere. There's no browser.
Well, advertising's a lot, right? I know we're in marketing and advertising, but I mean, there's I don't know. I think we do it in a better way, right? I love ad blockers. Who doesn't? I got 2 on my Chrome, which I have to turn off sometimes just to look at stuff. That's Glenn saying that. Glenna. That's funny. Safari, eh? Who uses Safari here?
Yeah, not me.
Not me.
Well, Glenna, are you using it more on your phone? Answer me that question. Yes, I want to know. Okay, so let's keep going because we got other news I know we need to hit.
Yeah, there's nothing that I've seen in the last month relating to real web stuff. They're beta testing WordPress 6.2, scheduled for release, I don't know, maybe next month. I can't recall. I don't think there's anything, super fabulous that is noteworthy coming out in the next one. So I have other frameworks that I use that are just releasing updates to their block packages, which are a little bit exciting. There's a lot of new features in a couple of them. But I know there's going to be a future live. I don't remember when it's scheduled for, or that I'm going to go over some of the block add-ons, the most popular block add-ons to extend the WordPress block editor.
Oh, that'll be interesting because did WordPress come out with their, I'm assuming they did their 2023 theme?
Yeah, it's been out for a bit.
Has it? Is it good? Do we like it?
It's sort of the introduction to full site editing, even though full site editing isn't completely there yet in WordPress, but that's the slow move in WordPress, is to get to that full site editing experience. And so the 2023 theme is very bare bones, but extremely customizable.
Oh. Sort
of doing that introductory to what will become full site editing. So they have a couple of things in there that they have to get people used to that full site editing experience.
We should take a poll in the group. What do you guys think of this, about how many people have built their own websites in the group? I would love to know that. Well, yes, Greg, we know. I have built sites. It's not my thing. It's not my thing.
Building websites.
Yeah, I know some people do. I think it's like a person's child. And so it can be a very emotional process, And look, Wendy's saying she built her own. That's awesome. I get Greg and Rena to help me now, to be honest, and failing. I just focus on what I'm good at, which is Google Ads and SEO. Phelan, is there any Google Ads news?
No, but there's a very important SEO news that came out. So the code base to Yandex got leaked. Now, why this matters is because Yandex was built by a former Google engineer in Russia who took a bunch of other Google engineers that were living in Russia. They all built this together. And it's also apparently proven to be 70% exact searches as Google. So it definitely does a pretty good job at replicating what Google does. And apparently the big takeaway is Google is not as smart as they claim to be, and it's more of a brute force thing where one of the big ones is that they just went through a homepage, they just counted the number of words, made a word cloud, took away all stop words, and then just went, okay, I guess this page is about air duct cleaning. And then
Oh,
they
that's
just did
really disappointing to hear.
it is, but it also it does land like it while it's like, yeah, it's not, it also gives a lot of opportunities for people to get pages ranking, because it still matters, like anchor text and how pages are connected with what
Right.
words. And so
That's actually, I think, the one of the best, they say in Google Ads, if you ever talk to like a really seasoned rep, the most important part of a Google Ads account is the setup. So like the conversion tracking and how you're utilizing the account. And I think the same goes for SEO, right? It's like, it's not, you don't focus on getting links first. You focus on the core of your website, right? And how it flows and all those things. It's funny because the people in the comments, and thank you so much for joining us today, everybody, are saying, and I have this problem too. It's I built my own website, and I had to give our Google Ads to someone else to manage, because I just throw my hands up. I'm like, I can't deal. I can't look, And so I don't know. You all feel like that? I guess you don't feel like that. Anyone else here on the live? No, Rena? Do you fuss with your site?
Here's on the thing. Yeah. I actually try and pretend that my site doesn't exist. That's how I deal with it. I definitely need a redo. I'm worried. I'm moving towards a redo. And when people say, "Oh, I checked out your site," I kind of feel like, "Oh, really? Oh no."
I apologize.
I say mine's a work in progress, because I did change all the titles. I used to have like quotes, and now I've used more sales language. So we are out of time. Always so much fun. I think today is a sing-songy day. So if you catch yourself saying something and it reminds you of a song, break into song. That's my theory today. Thank you for joining us. Chat soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
The conversation never stops in our Facebook group, Cyberpunk Geeks. Join us at facebook.com/groups/cyberpunk geeks to ask your questions, meet new friends, and learn even more about search, social, and websites.